your house.
I know. Why is just Shoshana get invited?
You guys don't live in Arizona.
That's a likely
rude,
story.
Alex.
If you fly out here, you're welcome over. But anyway, hi everybody. Welcome back to Worldhoppers and my house. Today's video is just us arguing about our favorite books that are not everybody in this chat's favorite books. And
Alan got started early.
Yeah, Alan actually started yelling at Leanna before we even started. So Alan, feel free to pick up. So just a little heads up, if you don't know, we are all friends, but we don't always...
No, according to Alan, we are not all friends.
Some of us
Five of us are friends. One person,
we are merely acquaintances.
Is not.
Well, Alan, before we started, Alex said that he needs to start a holy war soon with Leanna. So
What?
Leanna, Leanna does. I can't even talk about this. I can't even talk about it. Can't even talk about it.
But that's the whole point. So, Leanna, tell us your thoughts about Senlin Ascends.
No, the problem is we're supposed to have a stream talking about this very thing. But the problem is, here's the problem. Let me explain to you what her problem with Senlin Ascends is. I didn't like Ember in the Ashes. That's what the problem is. Because what it comes down to is literally, I was like, okay, you want to give like Senlin, or first of all, a Shadow in Summer. I'm like, okay, hostile, but fine. And then it's Senlin, and I'm like, all right.
3 stars.
No,
That's
stop it. I'm like, all right, stop it. I'm like, okay. Okay. But then today I see guards rocking 3 stars. And at that point, I'm like, Leanna doesn't read books. She doesn't read anything.
I recall her giving Fireborn 4 stars. So
yeah,
no one cares about Fireborn. We're talking about guards right now.
She gave it 4 stars. She gave it 4 stars because you have more subs than I do. And so she needs to curry favor with you. That's the only reason. Because here's what Leanna's read. She has looked at the cover of First Law and really likes Joe Abercrombie as a person. So she gives everything he writes 5 stars. She's in love with Pierce Brown. She's in love with Pierce. She's in love with Pierce Brown. So she gives all the Red Rising books 5 stars. But she doesn't read books. She doesn't read books.
The hostility, Alan.
She doesn't read books. Doesn't read books.
Leanna and I met Pierce Brown together.
Oh, the hostility is real.
Leanna, what did you give Ember in the Ashes? Did you give it 4 stars?
It's been a while.
5.
At least 4. I think I gave it 4 in the second one.
At least 4. Ember in the Ashes, 4 stars.
She could argue that you don't really read if you don't like her favorites.
No, she can't.
No.
So
I've only read 1 so far, so I have no idea how he feels about Black
Joshana, I'm the arbiter of truth. Mine is the objective truth.
Alan, I forgot. I'm sorry.
I know. You're welcome. You're forgiven.
Wait, so what did you not like about guards?
No, don't even ask. It doesn't matter.
I already posed the question.
I promise you, it was nothing. It's hostile. She doesn't like it because she wants to hurt people. She wants people to feel bad about themselves by disliking literally the single most beloved character in all of fiction. You want to know why? Because Leanna's a criminal. Leanna's a criminal, and really
the single most beloved character in fiction, because
Samuel Vimes.
I need a citation on that.
Samuel Vimes. You're mad because he would show up at your house and he would put you in jail for being a criminal. That's why. That's why.
She gave Ember in the Ashes 5 stars.
Alan quits. Alan's done.
Wait. We have a special guest.
Oh my god.
I brought Sean out. Luna Bear's here too.
Sean's at your house too?
He lives here.
Sean, let the good people know your thoughts about Leviathan Wakes.
The gravity talk. Get out of here, Sean.
It's
a good book. It's a good book.
You should tell the good people what you don't like about it.
Basically everything.
Most things.
I feel what I don't like about it is
Luna.
But it's just
Luna likes all books.
It's fine. I think the hype around it is crazy.
Is there a lot of hype around it?
I think so.
Everyone loves those books.
I think
it's a TV show.
I think because of the TV show, people hype the books.
I think the book's better than the show, but
that's a hot take on a book channel.
I watched season 1 after I finished Leviathan Wakes, and I was like, why is everyone so mad in this show? They're all just angry.
They're all edgy.
They are.
Answer for why I don't like it. I feel like all the characters are like
Stereotypes.
yeah, stereotypes of characters. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, the edgy detective, and then there's like, oh, the edgy captain, oh, but he's also a womanizer, and then there's like ladies who I have no idea what their personality is except for being ladies. That's it. And the big guy who's like the weapons person. I feel like
Isn't one of the authors of Leviathan Wakes the author of Shadow and Summer?
Yeah, Alan left because
Alan.
It's
Leanna
Daniel Abraham and Ty Franck, so I don't know.
can't handle
Do one of them write that?
opinions that
Yeah.
Oh my.
There was I
That's the way to
tweeted
do
about
it.
this today. What is it called? A philodox. It's someone who is so convinced of their opinion.
you don't have to.
All right, I'm gonna
Is
leave.
the definition just a picture of Alan?
What if Alan is like, because Alan has guests over, what if he's like, I'm going to pretend to be upset so that I can just.
He's definitely sitting there listening.
A person who loves or vehemently propounds his or her own opinions, a dogmatic or argumentative person.
Alan!
What word is this?
Interest in his own opinions.
What word is this?
Oh, come back. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Alex was wondering what that would.
Philodox? What is
Philodox. Okay.
Philodox?
Philodox.
Thank you.
I saw a tweet.
The
I was like,
synonym
I'm
for
gonna-
Alan.
I'm going to respond to comments when people are like, "You're wrong for your opinion." I'm going to be like, "Okay, then, Philodox."
Speaking of people
Got
telling you you're wrong for your opinion, what's the book that you get told that for the most, Shoshana?
Really?
Dragons.
We've been live for not even 7 minutes, and you have to bring this shit up again.
Yeah, I'm
God.
just gonna say that the attacks on me started before we were live, so don't.
Yeah, exactly.
No one could see that though.
The aggressive berating.
I fully agree with Joshana's take that people that hate her are psychopaths because she didn't like Razor Dragons.
Does that mean Alan's a psychopath for hating me because I don't like?
No, that's
No.
warranted.
Okay, there's a difference between Deshauna expressing her opinion, not liking Rage of Dragons, and then there's what you do, which is so, like, it's just so much worse. Like, Rage of Dragons isn't a good book. Like, it's okay
Okay,
not
let's do that.
to express.
Philodox!
Like, no, I'm not a Philodox because I don't have an excessive interest in my own opinion. There are plenty of people on this platform who have an excessive interest in their own opinion. However, it's not even like it's just the most
talking about,
insulting
Alan?
thing is that you didn't give it 1 star. You're like, that's
If
fine.
you feel like a
It's
personal
not freaking
attack,
fine.
I feel like you feel personally
feel
attacked
like
when Leanna doesn't.
There are 4 books of drastically differing types, and you trash all of them. Out of spite.
I'm loving Guns of the Dawn.
Give it a minute. What are you, like 100 pages in?
Specific taste.
I
This is why Leanna and I don't agree on many
I
things.
actually feel like
206.
Are they back in the swamp or are they still at Grammarly?
She just got on the train after.
Oh, okay.
training.
No, give it time because the Grammarly stuff is over. So give it time. Give it a minute for you to hate it now that the stuff that you liked is done.
I just
I don't know which parts I
Say-
liked.
Well,
I want
if you've
to
liked it
say-
so far, you've only liked the freaking Downton Abbey stuff.
so. Leanna, should we bring up Malice?
I don't like Malice either.
Hey, does everyone in this
All of
room,
us, like, well, except for you two, yeah. You guys.
everyone else want to sit here and tell Leanna that she's right about disliking Malice too?
No, Al didn't like it
Al
either.
will agree with me.
I
We're not
don't
talking
know.
about Elle. We're talking
Leanna's
about
literally
everyone else.
surrounded by John Gwynn fans.
I love Malice.
That's like the first
Danger.
thing to say.
I love Malice.
I didn't love Malice, but it was really
Malice.
good.
The special editions that you posted, you see they're only for
I saw.
Non-US.
I'm sorry,
so
friends.
sad.
Yeah, that's a bunch of garbage.
So sad. It's a bunch of garbage. Wrongly.
I do want to say, I think out of all of us, because Leanna is very picky, but I feel like her and I have the most
Yeah, you guys
similar.
agree.
The
Fair.
most-
Although I'm wearing my Name of the Wind shirt in honor of you hating it, so
That's true.
I don't even
I'm
wanna-
sorry, if you give Ember in the Ashes 5 stars, you're not picky. I promise you. Because I read Ember in the Ashes, and it's not 5 stars. Like, how do you even give it 5 stars? Like, with the stuff that you like, theoretically like in books, like good characters, or I don't know, good writing. Well, the writing's okay, but like good characters.
What people say to me about Rage of Dragons.
No, Rage of Dragons is
like that.
Rage of Dragons isn't good though.
Yeah, but they think it is. That's what I'm saying.
Who's they?
Remember the Ashes?
Me?
They think it's amazing, and Tao is the most complex character ever. And like, blah, blah,
who would argue that?
Well,
do people really argue Tao is
on.
complex?
Yes.
Hold on. Do people actually say these things?
That's not true.
Because Tao is like Riv, if any, for what we just talked about. Like,
I read it wrong because I didn't understand.
Look, Tao's not complicated at all. It's his character is I want to kill people. So I'm gonna kill
his
people.
character growth is that he goes from using one sword to using 2 swords.
It's never been done before.
What I'm saying.
Ever.
I like Rage of Dragons because it was action packed, not because of Tao.
Can we find books that Leanna likes and talk bad about them now? Like, can we do that? Like, what books does Leanna like that no one else likes?
That no one else likes?
Name of the Wind. Elle, why don't you like Name of the Wind? Why is Name of the Wind trash? I used to like it. I am literally abandoning my like of that book in order to talk bad about it because of Leanna likes it.
But you're the arbiter of truth, Alan. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
I'm selling my opinion for justice.
Oh.
I mean,
it's not justice.
I just find it really boring. Really boring.
Yeah, that's why I never wanted to read that one because it's just.
I always forget.
Like both.
I always forget about the end of that book. Like, I think I really liked Name of the Wind like a lot, and then I think about the end of it, and I'm like,
spoilers.
So
I don't want to spoil
I'm
it.
not spoiling anything. I'm just saying the ending segment I think is dumb.
Is that one actually spoiling the end of the book?
No, I'm saying the end. I'm not saying what it is.
Dumb, if that's a spoiler for you.
Like, are you talking about
the
thing high on like sap or whatever?
I'm talking about the big dumb section at the end. And any part with Denna. Any part with Denna is also dumb.
Because Helen hates
Because you
women.
hate women.
No,
Sure.
Alex,
that's why you hate Ember in the Ashes, because there's women in it.
As opposed to Guns of the Dawn, where the main character is a woman.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So far, what I've read of Guns of the Dawn, I am a little shocked that you loved this and picked it for me. Because I'm also shocked that a man wrote it.
She's a freaking Austin hero going to war, but you'll hate that. So give it time.
Jashawn, what did you ask?
You didn't read Fireborn, right?
No.
Are you the only one here that hasn't read it?
Probably.
I think I'm the only one that read it that felt like meh about it, right?
You guys gave it 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I really liked it.
Is it a YA book? I don't know.
It is, but it's like political intrigue and dragons. And like, I thought it was.
I'd probably enjoy it to a degree if
Who
I
can
read
say
it.
political intrigue with such disdain, Jashana? What do you
Me.
Who says it like political intrigue? Are you kidding?
Dragons part, but no,
The dragons were the worst part.
I like dragons though, but I didn't like all the freaking characters just thinking about each other all the dang time. Like,
So I remember when she finished reading it, and she was like, "Everybody's just sad all the time." I was thinking about like their traumatic past. I'm like, I know, I love it.
like
Don't read Robin Hobb then.
incessantly.
I'm pretty sure Jashana didn't like Assassin's Apprentice.
I don't blame her if she doesn't want sad people.
Hey,
That one I didn't dislike it either. I gave that one 3 stars.
I
too.
should like Assassin's Apprentice, and
You should.
no,
but she did.
guys,
I
Jesse's
mean, Royal
awful
Assassin,
quiet.
I think, Royal Assassin is a big step
I'm
up.
not good at arguing because
Let's talk about how everyone hates Imaginary Friend.
wait,
everyone hates
wait, Jesse, tell us all about Foundry Side
Oh yeah.
and Black Prism. Tell us about Foundry Side and Black Prism.
Are you gonna hate on Foundry Side? No.
He was like,
Foundry Side.
I could have
Alan can back me up.
I used to like Foundry Side until I failed 2 challenges on those books.
Okay, well that is on you.
I mean,
Alex-
shortfall was
has
kind of
super
obvious.
legit reasons. Dislike books.
very legit reasons for disliking.
If Leanna liked it and if it made him lose in a game,
Leanna started it.
Luna
Sorry,
was
what?
judging you.
Yeah.
Luna's like, please, someone pet me.
Hello.
Oh, so
I
cute.
want to be involved.
Alan, have you read any of Leanna's favorites of like, well, you like Red Rising, but what about like anything in First Law?
I don't like Red Rising anymore.
All like Red Rising except me, right?
I
I
don't like
didn't
it
like
anymore.
Red Rising.
I've
You're gonna try
abandoned it.
Golden Sun now that I've caught you up.
I am gonna try Golden Sun because everyone says it's so much better. But
I
I
have not read any First Law.
I DNF'd Golden Sun. That's
And you
not-
haven't read the book
Okay,
yet.
so-
You really need to get on that because it's.
So
kind
Elle and
of
Deshauna can just be quiet in Elle's house while we talk about Golden Sun then. Because that's just blasphemous.
Alan's not. At
I
my
liked
house.
Red Rising. I liked Red Rising.
That doesn't make sense.
Like, oh, cool. All right.
It's so much worse.
This is
No.
fun. And then I started Golden Sun. And I was like, this is
I
serious.
actually.
Deshauna is my father.
Golden Sun's
Red
better than Red
Rising
Rising.
loved it. Started Golden Sun. Was like.
I thought that Red Rising and Morning Star were much better than Golden Sun.
all the like space
I could
battles.
see the Morningstar argument, but
like, I
not
just
Red
don't
Rising.
care. I don't care about space battles at all.
No, I mean, there is a lot of space battles since it's
Probably shouldn't read
sci-fi,
a space opera if you don't want to.
right?
I don't like that.
In Golden Sun, because I remember.
Star Wars really had me until they started getting spaceships and stuff.
Wait, though. In Golden Sun, there's a reveal, and I'm like, this reveal
Yeah.
happened between books 1 and 2. Like, not the
Okay.
reveal, but the thing.
No,
the,
that's dumb.
Actually, moment. And I'm like, none of us could have guessed that happened.
Isn't that just the first person narrative issue, though?
Yes,
I don't
Because
know.
they hide stuff that you should probably know, but
he does it in Morningstar too.
Secret. Like,
yeah.
I've seen first person narration do like surprises, and it's like they can be done. I just felt like it was like, by the way, you don't know it, but actually, I have this, and I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to spoil it. And you're just like, I would have never known because I was waiting, like, what's the big thing gonna be? And I'm like, oh, I would never have known this because literally it didn't
I probably
happen.
didn't even get to that part.
I don't think you did.
I don't even know that I know what you're talking about anymore because there's so many
I
moments
think
like that.
I know what you're talking about, and
There are so many times though that Pierce Brown like does twists, and you're just like, wait, wouldn't Darrow know that though? But I'm just like, whatever. The book's
The
fun.
one I'm talking about is like I secretly leveled up off screen. That's
It's about Darrow's training.
It's not as good as Tao's leveling up.
how
Listen, Tao fought actual demons in the underworld
Blah blah
for
blah.
like a long time.
Shoshana is, so here's the thing though, like you can have your own opinions, Shoshana, but you're like not factually accurate
It's
right
actually inaccurate.
I just don't get it.
You didn't read it well enough.
now. You're
I didn't
misleading.
read it properly, you know?
Read it smarter next time.
I'll try really hard. Except I'm never-
It's smarter.
I almost was gonna try to read the second book, and then I was like, I don't all these
Thank you for almost trying a book.
big hair enough.
Since Jessie's too nice, I'm gonna out her for a second. I remember when she was reading it and she's like, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Which one? The
I
first one?
couldn't stand that book.
You have to really like
I
action.
finished it.
You have to really like action.
I think Rage of Dragons would work better as a movie or a
movie?
TV show.
Oh, yeah.
It would.
Because, like,
Sure.
then you'd be like, "Ooh, cool action scenes."
If there had just been like one other character we got points of view from, good God,
There is.
Yeah,
There
There is.
happens in the
Later
second
book.
book.
consistently.
There's like there's the
Like,
random
The second book has more POVs.
No, we needed like someone consistently on the other side or
So
something.
you can't have an opinion on the first book if you haven't read the second book. Those are the rules.
Oh, I surely can.
Yeah, you know, you can't have an opinion about Wheel of Time unless you read all 14 plus the prequel.
That's also true.
You don't
I
have
still
like,
have- I don't even know if I
your
like
whole
these books
life
yet.
reading the entire series. Then you can be like, I didn't like that.
Okay, I have to know though. I don't know why because I haven't watched your negative review of Malice. What don't you like about Malice? I want to explore this.
She's clearly
further.
talking to you, Elle.
Well, my review for Malice
Both me
wasn't
and Annelle.
my review for Malice wasn't really negative. It was kind of like in the
Meh.
middle. Yeah, like there's a lot about it. I was excited to see, you know, explored in the next books. And then I started the next book and I'm like, wait, are you serious about a couple of things happening? Like, and I was like, all right, well, this makes me really frustrated that I read this whole one. There's one whole point of view in book one that I'm like, really? Really? That went nowhere. And I was like so frustrated. I had to read that whole point of view for nothing. Nothing in my opinion.
She's talking
I
about
think
a loss.
Yeah, but he's barely in the first book.
He's in it enough.
He's not in it that much.
Well, but okay, here's the thing though,
I
Alex.
think I know what you're talking about.
You're
But
backing
wait,
up my point. He's not
His
in
name
it
starts
that
with a
much.
K.
yes,
then-
okay.
And then in book 2, there's a new person. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
There's a person that's like, I need revenge for this
Mhm.
thing, and I'm like, I don't care.
The best character in the entire series.
Wait, that's not the only reason. There's plenty of reasons.
Name 7.
Corbin's the only character who is somewhat different from everyone else. Everyone
What?
else is like, I'm a grizzled person.
Corbin's the most boring character in the entire series.
I know, but he's at least different from
He
the
just has a wolf.
No, Corbin. That's false, Al.
Corbin is like-
Corbin is the least different character in it.
from
Like-
other fantasy books. He's not different.
Corbin is like, hi, I'm the main character.
Yeah,
Like
but everybody else,
everyone else is interesting.
everybody else is like, oh no, giants, or oh no, other people who want power. That's everybody else's perspective.
We read different books.
Alan's.
Wait,
This is
Leanna,
just-
I need you to back me up for a second.
Elle is saying things that would literally eliminate half of the fantasy books that she likes normally. Like, oh no, a threat. Oh no, a bad guy.
No,
That's
the
most.
threats
I mean,
are
that's most fantasy books.
Okay, wait. At least books with threats, like, because of course every book has threats in it. But I mean, like, all of these characters, they're like, we don't dive enough into the threats to make me actually care about the threats. You throw me into action immediately when I don't know anybody. There's like, I like
Because
big
the main threats are the villains, though.
I thought
It's
the
not-
Veritas Nether thread was
Yeah.
very different than the Corbin, I'm a son of a blacksmith who is going on a quest thread. For sure.
Okay, the characters are so dumb, and like the Veritas character is so
Oh,
stupid. In
Are
the
you
end.
leaning into the Veritas
So
being
dumb.
stupid
He's
argument?
so dumb at the end. He's like,
Oh,
that's what to do.
This is Klaus.
Yeah, that's his solution. And I'm just like, what a genius. Like, I can't stand the idiot that he is. You gotta
Because, hold on, because he's principled? Like, you're mad at him because he has principles?
Shoshana.
No, he has the opposite.
Shoshana.
Instead of standing by their
Integrity.
principles, no.
Shoshana, all you have to do
I love that
is
book.
this. Just right now.
He
Just
did not have
I
principles
guess.
at the end. He
I
was like,
guess.
you know what? I'm scared of our principles, so let me cover some things up now, and then I'll think about it later.
Called character growth.
oh my god. You know what? Elvin sucks.
I know you don't think that, but nice try.
I do. I don't think she sucks. They're just boring.
Careful, I have not read the last book, and if it's here that it gets spoiled for me,
I'm not
I'll
gonna
lose
spoil
it.
Alan,
I'll
no
lose it.
spoiling
I'm not
anything
gonna
in the
spoil
video.
Mistborn. I love Mistborn.
I have to be say it. I got to be super cautious because it's the most read freaking
I'll
fantasy
just
book
say
out
about
there.
the end of Mistborn what you said about the end of Name of the Wind. The end is stupid.
I mean,
No, that's
the problem is that's not like most people say the ending is amazing. You have a hot take on that.
Everyone dies.
I got bored and stopped reading the ending.
Leanna, I want to hear your thoughts on Malice.
I mean, okay, well, it's been longer since I read it, so it's not super fresh, like the specifics, but vaguely I remember just thinking that the characterization was atrocious. The most like two-dimensional, like barely cardboard cutout characters, paint by number fantasy, that I was just like, this is the most like basic ass cardboard fantasy, and the plot too, the
Did you
prose
DNF
too,
it or did you
all of
finish
it. I was
it?
like, this is the most basic ass fantasy I've ever read, and all of y'all are saying like, this is the greatest thing ever, and I'm like, this is the most basic thing ever.
It is important that y'all recognize that Leanna gave Ember in the Ashes 5 stars after saying what she just said.
Lots of people
Like-
like Ember in the Ashes. I haven't read it yet, so I can't.
I don't feel strongly enough about it either way to argue for Ember in the Ashes, so I can't
It's
really.
been longer since I read it. Ember and the Ashes I read like 4 or 5 years ago. So now I think I would probably give it 4 stars if I reread it. Like I would still like it, but I don't think I'd give it 5.
But Malice has terrible characterizations and really basic story. But Ember in the Ashes is a
Hey, Al, you like Ember in the Ashes, right?
it's a
Alan, it's
revelation.
fine. She also hates Brandon Sanderson and everything he stands for.
Everything.
Leanna, especially in California and is a hipster. Why are you a hipster, Leanna?
Listen,
You're a
I
hipster, Alan.
like.
The pot calling the kettle black over here.
I'm Schrodinger's hipster. I at least don't want to be a hipster.
Wait, Alan.
No one wants to be a hipster. That's what makes them a hipster.
Alan, I need to know more specifics about An Ember in the Ashes from you, because I think your review was
What
like
is this book?
long or something.
It's like 22 minutes, yeah. So my problem with Ember in the Ashes, without like trashing it because it's Leanna likes it, my problem is that it's just I don't like the what is my main problem? My main problem is the bad guys are bad, like they're really terrible. Tahir thinks that making someone, it's literally like there's a reason that TV tropes there's a trope called kick the puppy, because it's like, let's show how evil this person is by having them be evil. And it's not evil for evil's sake. It's evil for it's like her idea of a bad guy is just being cruel, even when it does not benefit the character to be cruel. Like the example I use.
I have a question about a book I like, but I feel like you could argue that same thing for Straff Venture for sure in Mistborn, and I know you've read far enough.
Straff's more complicated than this character, because Straff has a reason to be that way. This woman, here's the thing. This is what this woman does.
Not really.
He's rich.
He takes I'm the noble douchebag to the nth degree, where it's just
I agree with you.
A slave girl who looks like Vin, just so that he can pretend that he's hurting Vin.
That is more characterization than main character shows up as she's the commandant's slave, shows up literally 6 seconds late. 6 seconds late with her tea, which the commandant takes every night at 9 o'clock. So lady shows up 9 o'clock, 6 seconds after. Commandant knocks the tea out of her hand and then punches the slave girl in the face and makes all these threats. And it's just okay, oh wow, guess what you have? Not tea. That's what you have. You just don't have any tea.
But
You've
now
literally done nothing.
The slave fears her now, right? Isn't that the whole
No. There comes a point to where it's like in Red Rising. I had the same complaint in Red Rising. Every time there was a new big enemy revealed, Pierce Brown would have them say something first of all, describe how huge they were, and then have them say some of the.
You like Red Rising and yet Ember in the Ashes because this thing is there. This girl got
all of them
smacked for having tea late. You're oh, this book gets 2 stars.
I mean, the review's 22 minutes long. I'm giving you one piece of it.
Wait, we're talking about One Piece now?
No. There's
We're
plenty
never
of
gonna
people.
find the piece. Just let's talk about something else.
There's plenty of people doing that. But no, and then there's literally, and this is even more mind-boggling. I already don't like the murderous bully trope. It's in everything. That's in Malice too, and I hate it in Malice also. So one of the main there's 2 POVs. The guy POV is in they're in some training school to be the Empire's inquisitors or whatever, and one of the main 4 is named Marcus, and literally, and I'm not joking, I know I'm prone to hyperbole, but every single time this guy opens his mouth, if he's talking to a guy, he's threatening to murder them. So if he's talking to one of his compatriots, he's threatening to kill them. If he talks to any of the women, he's threatening to rape them, and that's without exception. Every single time he opens his, and I'm just are you freaking serious? That's this kid's characterization, is he wants to murder all of his male peers and rape all of his female peers? That's not a fearsome bad guy to me. It's bad. It is poor antagonist development, and that is one of several things. It's just it reads too young. It reads too young for me. I'm not trashing it. I think Sabatir is a good writer. I think she's a good writer. I don't like the story. So
how do you feel about Lycos?
What?
So how did you feel about Lycos?
I mean, I think Lycos is terrible, but that's not every single time Lycos spoke. He's also a drunk, which I don't like that he's drunk every time too. Yeah, you're talking about the stuff that he does in one book. I understand that.
Yeah, just throughout the series. He's just.
I mean, Lycos is definitely more of the evil to be evil kind of guy, whereas like
that doesn't bother me. Evil to be evil doesn't bother me.
But like other characters are more compelling than him.
I'm pretty sure you just spent like however many minutes telling us all about how evil to be evil is the worst thing ever.
Tahir doesn't do the evil to be evil correct. It's like she thinks, what is like what's the worst thing I can have them do? That's not good characterization. It's just like there's nothing wrong with evil to be evil. It can be developed well. Lycos is a better example of evil to be evil. It's like she's heard of what like will like make people like have a reaction, and
do you feel like it's shock value stuff? Like
the reason Kick the Puppy is a trope is because it's a shortcut. It's a lazy way to show how evil someone is, and that's what it feels like.
Well, what I remember most about Ember in the Ashes is not giving any shits about the antagonists, but I think the protagonists are very well characterized.
So you think Keenan and Alaya have a great, you think that's a really well-developed relationship?
I don't think that's one of the main characters. Keenan?
Laya most certainly is.
Laya, for sure. And I think Laya is well-written.
The dude is mean to her from the second she meets him. And then eventually...
Who cares about Keenan?
No.
Okay, hold on. And then Laya says, you don't have to be such a jerk, or something to that effect. And he says, sorry. And then all of a sudden she notices his touch on her face, and he holds her eyes with his gaze, and all of a sudden she's in love with him because he said sorry for being a douchebag every time up to that. That's not super great characterization, right? Like it's literally insta love. Same thing when she meets freaking Elias.
How old are they? These characters? I haven't read it.
Like 16.
Yeah,
when there's insta love with teenagers, I was that teenager, so I'm like, yeah, it's believable.
Okay.
I was
like Elias and Helene.
I like Helene a lot.
You don't like Elias?
I mean, Elias is fine. Elias is fine too. Like I said that in my review. I said I like Elias. Helene is my favorite part. I think Marcus and the Commandant are terrible. I think freaking Black Spire or whatever it is porous as a freaking sponge. It leaks like a sieve for being like the ultimate Empire training ground. Like people are crawling in and out all over the place.
I gotta say, when we were like talking about doing this video, I did not think an Ember in the Ashes the book. Like nobody rides hard for an Ember in the Ashes in this chat.
I'm just glad that I was invited to watch this epic battle of Ember in the Ashes.
I mean, the reason that Alan is going all in on Ember in the Ashes is because it's the only book of the ones that I picked for him that he's read. So he doesn't have anything else.
That's true. But the problem is when you're trashing Malice, but then giving Ember in the Ashes 5 stars, it undercuts you as someone who reads books.
Wait. But
to you,
what did you give Foundry Side?
Me? I gave Foundry Side 5 stars, and I stick by that.
Sir,
Jesse.
No, Alan, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
I've actually lowered it to 4.5 since then. But
you talk about liking stuff that reads young. That dialogue was like a 14-year-old. Like, gee, I'm so wonderful. You be careful calling out 14. No, I did. That's it. I literally could not stand
Jesse, earmuffs
dialogue anymore. I was like, this world is really cool.
Wait. I gotta ask again. What's it called? They have like a special word instead of cursing. What is it called?
Oh God, they do that.
Scrum? I think it's scrum. Scrumming.
Is that what it's called? And it's like there's a whole backstory to why it's called that. Because like on ships, sometimes there's this thing, and like you have to like go through it.
I don't even know if I got that.
So people,
hold on, Elle, aren't you a huge Stormlight fan? And you're trashing Foundry Side for making up swear words?
Hold on.
Seriously?
I know Stormlight. I know all of them do that.
Trust me, I hate Sanderson fake swears. So continue.
I'm just saying for Deshauna, like here's what doesn't make sense though.
I don't even care about that.
They also curse in Foundry Side. They curse.
That's the weird thing. That is the strangest thing. You're 100% correct.
I don't care about the fake curse word. Just the like their interactions. Like number one, they all sounded the same. I was like, who's talking? If you didn't tell me who specifically is talking.
Orso. I mean, maybe if you're not talking about Orso, Orso is extremely distinctive when he speaks. He's the angry old guy.
They just sound the same, and like, good God, the like cheesy, corny, like teenagers talking to each other.
Orso had a weird. I remember him having a really weird line about like, oh, this is as tight as a young schoolgirl or something like really gross.
Ew.
And I was
He's
like,
definitely gross. I agree with you. He's gross. I said that. I said that in my review. How gross he is. I'm not a huge fan. Look,
Yeah.
we're all in glass houses here. Elle's trying to stay on the sidelines before we attack something she likes. Look at her
What?
trying to play moderator.
will say,
What does Elle
I
like that we all
never-
hate?
Or L.
I
Oh,
feel like
hate.
I'm always the one who has like the book that I love that everybody else hates or
Imaginary
that
friend.
someone hates. But the one that I hate that Elle loves is Witcher. So that's the only one
Oh.
I could talk about that Elle loves that I did not like is Witcher.
Did you
That's
read the first one?
I read the short stories, which I really liked.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
DNF'd
So the
the
actual
series
books, the actual
after
series.
trying to read Tower of Swallows. So I got
Tower of
through.
Swallows is where I started to not love it, and Lady of the Lake, I continued to not love it.
but I feel like your reasons for not liking it are valid, so you're not going to hurt my feelings.
So that's not even interesting to argue.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. Figure out which one you all hate that I like.
I mean, I don't know. I
That's
just,
I don't love the Witcher novels either. I like the short stories.
I like
I
the
liked
short
the
stories
novels
a lot.
up until Tower of Swallows, and then I feel like it got away from him. There was just like so much, and it just didn't like have a story anymore. And I was like, what is even any of this
I don't
anymore?
love Sarkowski's writing.
The best part is Geralt, and there's like
Yeah,
no
by Lady of the
Geralt.
Lake, I was like, where is the Witcher?
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'm
think
glad
that's
I
probably
stopped
true.
that. That would have driven me crazy in
Well,
Lady of the Lake.
I think having such a love of the video game, it just makes it feel like everything you're reading in the books is just fun backstory.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Yeah,
like,
'cause the games
yeah.
the games are all way after the series ends.
Yeah. So
did you
Yeah.
love Shades of Magic or no? You just
I did like Shades of Magic.
I like Shades of
Anyone
Magic.
hate it?
I liked the first two. I liked the first one a lot. The second one I was like, okay, kind of the plot, kind of, but like cool. And then the third one made me angry.
See,
I don't
this is like,
Oh, the plot was like, what the frick
I
are
can
we
tell
doing?
you. Okay, I can tell you. I
So
remember.
annoying.
I remember things that she didn't like about it. So V.E. Schwab totally, and this is a criticism I have for a lot of trilogies, is like
Hate
the authors get so engrossed in their own worlds that they're trying to set up other
Yeah, and that's what it felt like.
books.
Like she had whole scenes that didn't matter. Like a whole scene.
Well, it's also, I don't know if you've ever heard V. Schwab talk about her writing process, but I feel like as soon as I heard her explain it, I was like, that is how it reads. That she doesn't write it in an order. She writes random scenes and then she just like puts them together.
What?
Yeah, well,
That's
these scenes
so
had
chaotic.
literally no impact on the plot. Like they went to this place and they got in a fight with somebody and like, oh, we struggled and oh, we have to go here, but then nothing happens when we're here, and then we just leave. Like,
That's
what-
weird.
Which again, when you hear that that's how she writes, then it makes sense.
Well,
that
and
that's
then
what happens.
he was doing a continuation series, and I'm like, that's what it felt like. Is that none of this mattered for this world, but like, oh, maybe it'll matter later. But like in this book, you took up so much of my time.
So I feel
Oh my
like
God.
my frustration at having to read certain things in Malice is what Jashawn is describing about the end.
but
of
in
Shades.
Malice, it all plays into the.
I don't understand the Malice hate.
Pretty
I
much
don't get
everything in Malice builds.
No, I understand if you didn't like Malice, like I do, but like Leanna's like abhorrence for Malice, that I don't understand. Especially, oh my god, I can't, like every time I'm like, oh wait, Leanna's a reasonable person. I'm like, oh, but 5 stars for Ember in the Ashes, and you hate Malice? Like I don't get it.
The thing about Malice for me was
I'm
like
so confused.
5 years ago, though.
Malice is pretty standard, like starting foundational series fantasy though.
It
It's
was
not like it.
very like basic, I guess. I would
It's not
say.
until later
It
that
is
like things
like-
actually change the tropes
Basic.
that he's using. But it's like I don't think it does anything that's like criminal for the genre. It's pretty like yeah, this is the first book of a fantasy series. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like
I said at the beginning of this month that Leanna and I were no longer nemesis, that we had like found common ground. I completely
Short-lived
take that back.
truce.
I double down. I renew it.
That was
I am
out-
currently marshaling forces to march upon her hippie commune where I can burn down. I can.
Is it not an apothecary
Fine.
anymore?
No, I'm burning down your freaking greenhouse or whatever wherever you're.
What else have we
wherever
all
you're
read?
growing
Has
your
everybody
hemp
read-
clothes.
has everybody
Wait,
read
are
the
you
Great
reading
Coats?
The Wolf?
Oh, Leanna hates
Great
Trader's
Coats.
Blade. Don't
I
even get
haven't read
started.
it yet, but
Oh,
there's some
Great
I don't like
in it.
Trader's Blade.
But is it just Trader's Blade? Joshana, have you read it?
Yeah, I
Leanna
Blade is so weird. I don't understand why that book is the way that it is.
and I listened to it on audio, so I need to reread it in physical form. But I thought it was cool. I liked it. I wanted to continue with the series. I just didn't, and then I was like,
you should continue with the series. The next 3 books are excellent.
It was real weird and like, what the
look, no one. I've never met anybody who's like, you know what, that was a great scene.
Yeah,
but it wasn't just that scene. The like kind of where the climax, like it's the purge. It's literally the purge. Why is this happening in a fantasy book?
That's not the climax. That's like the middle of the climax. I agree. The middle of the book's like the purge. That's cool.
No, it literally is the purge.
Villains that like are like weird and like really intense, like let's just be upset about something. You don't think that in trade?
Also, the big reveal of Falkio's big hero, and I won't say what it is for spoilers, but like the secret plan that's always been in place is so creepy and disgusting. Oh my god!
I mean,
I don't remember it. I just
thought
it was fine.
I guess if you don't like, if you're not familiar with European kings throughout history, I guess it would be
regardless as like really noble, really good, really wonderful, benevolent, kind, perfect, moral.
That's
king.
one of the points of the book. Is Falkio coming to grips with
that's a theme throughout literally the entire series. That he's not who he thought he was.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear
and
that.
The thing is, everyone knew that except Falkio.
Except for him, like, he was blinded.
Falkio's self-delusion. That's the whole point.
Keston and Brasky literally tell him the entire time, like, dude, like he might not have been what you picture him as, and he's just like, no, he was my king. Everyone's like,
super dumb, Alex. That's what she went with. Super dumb.
That's fine.
Super dumb.
It was kind of, I think it was a little icky. But you know, Alex, didn't you get a comment that was like, you know, it's because you're a man, you're not mentioning all the.
Oh no, somebody like, I wasn't upset enough about something. The whole Athalia scene, or I mentioned that it was a bad, like, completely unnecessary scene, and somebody was just like, what, you don't care that women also get raped? And I was just like, no, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? You're just making,
bothered me just because
just making things up to get mad at me about.
Bridging his wife, and I was like, great, we're doing that too in this book.
Yeah, I mean, she could have used some characterization. I'm not going to argue that point. But
you don't even need to know her name. I don't know if you guys know that, but
yes, you most certainly do. You most certainly do need to know her name.
I'm saying Falkio literally
not for her character, but
he literally says you don't even need to know her name.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Wait. Let me make sure I'm checking myself here.
He certainly does not mean that, because her name is a very important thing.
And it's really stupid that her name is. Oh my god, the way that her name is important is also stupid.
No. I've read the whole series. Her name is more important than that.
I want to make sure.
The way it was important in that book was stupid.
It's post Trader's Blade. It's like,
I really want to clarify. Just in case, he either says you don't need to know her name or you don't need to know what she looks like. It's like one of the two where he's like, you don't need to know because that's not important. And I'm like, yeah, we just need to know about her horrific situation so we can feel bad for you.
There's like, I think in Greatcoat specifically, like, that's important to who Falkio is and where his delusion comes from and how he got to where he is, much more so than when similar things happen in other books. Now, I realize it's too common, but just because something is too common doesn't mean it can't be used for the purpose.
You just have to do it well. Okay, and now here's the comment, L. Somebody said, sucks that male reviewers of this book are glossing over the rape scenes. Using a person's rape/assault, usually women in fantasy, are as just a plot device for the protagonist is so tired. And I was just like, oh, did you just gloss over the entire part where the main character, who is a man, goes through something like this? And then I didn't get a response.
I agree. Look, Trader's Blade is not the best of it. It's not the best of the series. It's the weakest by far.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was a fun little, I don't know, other than that one scene.
Yeah,
it is.
Look, no one defends. I've literally never talked to someone who's read the book who's been like, you know what, that was a great scene. Nobody.
Quality. It's kind of like the scene from It. No one likes that scene.
Okay, I mean it's not even kind of like the scene from It. The scene from It should die in a fire. Like that was just not needed.
Blossomed into an adult.
Q DNF'd it from QNTG. He DNF'd it at 95%. He literally put the book down after that.
Did he not know about the scene? I feel like everybody knows about that at this
Wait,
point.
who did?
I knew about it.
You
so
from
I
Q
was-
and TG literally DNF'd it at 95% because I asked them, because that's what they said in their video. It's hilarious. When I'm like, did Q really DNF it? And he's like, yeah, seriously, I really DNF'd it.
That's a weird way to get out of that situation.
We're all lost. I know. That's how I'm not even gonna say
It's a
it.
bad scene.
It's
But I
bad.
love that people who ask him like, "What was the purpose of writing that?" And he's like, "Nobody seems to mind the child murder," and I'm like, "That's not an answer."
Nope, they don't.
No, and these are not the
Yeah, like
same.
one of them, we all know it's bad for this like demonic clown to go around killing people. Nobody's like, I really like the demonic. Like we all are. Nobody wants that anyway. Hey, you know what? Something we all agree on. I think.
Yay!
It's a really low bar. The only thing we can all
It's-
agree on is 13 for me.
It is one of those things though that now, like, because as much as everyone loves Stephen King, if you mention it, no one even mentions that scene, and then when it's brought up, they're just like, "Oh yeah, he was doing coke." It's like it's always just like, "Yeah, whatever, it's there. Just go, move on."
I will say we're planning on doing a part 2. So we'll argue some more then. Maybe we'll argue about more than just
Ember in the Ashes.
An ember in the end.
Who knew? Maybe by then Alan will have finished reading maybe one other of the books that I suggested that you read.
I'm sorry, Leanna. Like, I have crap that is getting in my way of reading. I can't sit in front of my like this and just be like, oh, let me read my book like this. Or whatever you do while you're brewing potions, Leanna.
Was that me brewing potions? It looked like
No, this
typing
is-
angrily, trolling
is-
the internet.
This is you doing your job while brewing potions and reading.
And reading. Wow, Leanna, how do you do it all? I want to know.
I mean, I'm just talented.
Multi-talented lady.
Look, I
Anyway,
read
yeah,
slow to have company.
I know it's under the Worldhoppers' usual time here to be less than an hour to 2 hours long. But we'll stop here. We will all come together again to shout at each other and mostly try to get in a word between Alan's shouting at Leanna.
We didn't talk about any book Leanna liked except Ember in the Ashes.
Whose
Instead,
fault
it
was
was
that?
It was you
Whose
guys.
fault
No,
was
no,
that?
it was you guys trashing books that me and Alex and Jesse liked.
You tried to trash ones for me, but not enough people hate the books that I hate. So
I don't think I've read like
Or that I
90%
like.
of the books that you've read.
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
don't.
also
read.
true.
Shoshana was like looking at the shelves, like, what does she like?
I'm
that
like,
I don't like.
I just don't. I'm like Sanderson, but like
I was literally scrolling through your channel and I was just like, what has she reviewed lately that I don't like?
Well, that's the thing. Like most of the stuff that you like really love, either I agree or I'm like, it's fine. I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate it. You know.
Yeah, I feel like if one of us hates something, the other one also usually hates it, or it's like lukewarm. I don't think there's something I love that you hate, and
There's
swap.
not much that's like we went over the things of Leanna, what Sanderson and Malice, but like as I'm looking, it's like she likes First Law, she likes Red Rising, she liked Robin Hobb. I'm just like, she likes Sun Eater. Like, what am I gonna be mad about? You two yell at each other.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll just all
Ember in the Ashes again.
Rage
then
of Dragons. That's
we'll-
what you can always. Be
we'll
mad
type-
about, Alex.
we'll type in the private chat and giggle while Alan's yelling. Alan, have
We're
you
just gonna
checked
be
the
like
private chat?
like rowdy
Oh.
class members while he's like lecturing, aka
Oh,
yelling at us.
We can
then
talk
we'll
about
just be
Kings of the Wild next time. How about that?
passing notes. Kings of the Wild.
I DNF.
Oh yeah. Al also doesn't like. Okay, yeah, maybe Al and I do agree a lot.
Yeah,
You
okay.
guys do.
We do, I think. Yeah. I'm always like, Leanna's so picky. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm talking about myself too. Anyway, yes, we will end it there, just under 50 minutes. We will shout at each other again. I feel like I'm losing my voice, and I don't know why, 'cause I'm not the one who's been shouting the most. But anyway, thanks everybody. We will be back. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
watching. Bye.